Hey, I'm Brent Dowling from Voodoo Brewing Company. Congrats on taking the first step towards owning your craft brewery business. Let's start with you. I'm going to take a guess that you're here watching this today because the monotony of corporate life has worn you down. Maybe you've reached a point where you are ready to make a fortune for yourself and not for anyone else. Or if you're anything like me, you might have some big financial goals, but you don't want to feel like you had to sell your soul to hit them. You simply want less BS in your career and more fun in your life. Well, that's what led me and most of our franchise owners to Voodoo Brewing Company. In this video, we're going to provide you with the info you need to understand if you fit the tribe of franchise owners that we're building here. We're going to talk about why now is a great time to open a brewery, how you can make a really solid return on your investment, show you why Voodoo is the best and most fun franchise opportunity available, explain how our model makes owning a pub super simple for you, and of course, talk about the award-winning beer. Ever since the day the founding Voodoo crew opened our first location, they knew they were onto something big. It seemed the whole town of Meadville, Pennsylvania had turned out, with a crowd of people literally coming out the doors of this new pub. Matteo, our CEO, Jake, our president, and all the employee owners of Voodoo have since spent the last 15 years testing and perfecting our products and business model, quietly creating a cult-like following for our beers and food in the background. We believe it's the perfect time to finally unleash Voodoo across the country. I, for one, am buying into the hype and the possibilities ahead. I've developed over 30 franchise concepts in the last decade, including brands like Jumbo Juice and Famous Dave's, and the truth is that Voodoo Brewing Company is the first brand that I'm personally investing into as a franchise owner. I'll share the magic I see in the future of this brand and this model as we continue to go along here. But before you can decide whether the Voodoo business model fits into your vision of franchise ownership, let's start with some insight into the craft brewing, restaurant, and bar industries, since Voodoo fits into all three. It's not exactly breaking news that people love beer, but do you know how much they love it? The craft beer industry is currently valued at $33.3 billion a year and is anticipated to grow over 15% in the next 5 years. Americans consume more than half of the beer in the entire world. Additionally, the restaurant industry stands to make a major comeback this year. While people might be hesitant about buying into the food and beverage industry, the fact is that the average American is beyond pumped to get out and be social again. And we believe that the entrepreneurs who recognize this now are likely to capitalize on a level of restaurant and bar profitability that's unlike anything we've seen in recent history. So by now you might be thinking, okay Brent, great, it's an excellent time to open a brew pub. But why Voodoo? Let me tell you the biggest reason. You'll own a world-class brewery without any of the brewing. Brewing is an incredibly complex process. Matteo and our master brewer Kurt have clocked up thousands of hours over the last 15 years in the endless pursuit of crafting some of the world's best liquid. As a new franchise owner, you'll avoid all the blood, sweat, and tears here. We give you the opportunity to serve world-class beer brewed by one of the best brewing teams in the country. It's always been about the liquid for us. Our product team puts an insane amount of care into crafting some of the finest beers on the planet, and we've got the awards and reputation to prove it. Winning numerous awards, participating in international beer festivals, and a combined 40,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram has earned Voodoo Brewing a strong brand reputation. We have built a following of raving fans who enjoy our beer and food, wear our threads, and spread positive vibes about us everywhere they go. In line with keeping everything as simple as possible, you'll also get to serve ridiculously good food without having to stress over the menu or worry about the expense of a wait staff, since everything is ordered from the bar. Our eclectic pub food is familiar, but it's also completely different than what everyone else serves. Our culinary director and executive chef, Nate, creates and curates the dishes and incorporates Voodoo beer into them whenever possible. He will work with you to determine the best menu for your space and community and incorporate as many of the local options as possible. Here's a few more reasons as to why you're going to love your new Voodoo business. You'll immediately get a brand with global support. Voodoo boasts a cult-like following around the world. While we don't have any international locations, we are present at the top-tier international beer festivals. This recognition has led us to be considered a top 50 brewery, which gives our franchise owners not only bragging rights, but also credibility in the industry. Our model takes virtually all of the headaches out of owning a pub, but leaves all of the fun. Just like a European beer hall, at Voodoo, customers order and pick up food and drinks at the counter. This model allows owners to run a brewpub with a lean staff of around 6 employees. As we all know, the fewer employees, the fewer the headaches, and the increased ability for our owners to maximise their ROI. This ain't no cookie cutter, soul-crushing franchise. Quite the opposite, actually. For all the consistency and simplicity, one of the best parts of owning a Voodoo Brewing Company is the flexibility to really make it your own. We give you the freedom and encouragement to incorporate elements of your local community into your space. From decorations to additional craft beer and spirit offerings to the food that's served, there's a chance to take everything you love about your town and incorporate it into your new overall feel. We brew for you. Our resident beer wizards work tirelessly in the background to perfect some of the best tasting craft beer in the world and ship it to your location. All you do is sell it and take the credit as the hero who provides liquid gold to your community. A lot of folks who apply to own a Voodoo make one mistake. They overestimate the cost to open their Voodoo Brewing Company franchise. Many folks assume that owning a world-class pub may cost $1 million or more, but they're wrong. We're able to keep investment costs far more affordable than this. Our investment is a quarter of the cost of our closest competitors. Here's the investment range. The total investment includes various real estate and construction costs, including permits, liquor licensing, fixtures, signage, furniture, kitchen equipment, the list goes on, training expenses, advertising and marketing for your grand opening in the first few months, technology, equipment and software, your initial food and beverage inventory, and a whole list of other things that come with opening your brewpub. As you go through the discovery process, you'll see how our business model leads to lower overhead and quicker returns than the competition. Maybe one of the best things about owning a Voodoo franchise is the level of support you'll receive from Matt, Jake, Taco Cat, and the rest of the support squad here at our headquarters. Once you're in our tribe, you're one of us, and we'll take care of you like family from day one. Here's what you can expect from your support team as a Voodoo franchise owner. Training. You'll get 6.5 hours of classroom training and 60 hours of on-the-job practice to prepare you for opening the doors to your own brewpub. Real estate and construction. We know what type of location works and how to get it built as affordably as possible. We'll be there with you every step of the way. Menu creation support. Nate will help you build an easy-to-execute, mouth-watering, localized menu and help keep things cranking in your kitchen. Marketing support. We'll provide creative marketing support like pub events to help drive revenue and generate serious buzz. And Kurt, one of the top master brewers in the world. Kurt is behind the scenes working his mad scientist magic with his team to brew your beer and deliver it to you every week. It's important to note that we don't award franchises to just anyone. We're looking for a special connection, a magical spark that shows us that something amazing is about to happen. You should be a craft beer lover. You should be community-minded and ready to become the new hero in your hometown. You should be someone who works hard, but also knows how to have some fun. You should not be a f***ing asshole. You can bleep that out, right? Yeah. Now, if you think you fit this description, you may just be Voodoo franchise owner material. So if you like what you've heard and you think you might match our culture, then I invite you to complete a brief 5-minute questionnaire so we can find out a little more about each other and start to see if you qualify to own a Voodoo Brewing Company franchise. There's no cost, no obligation for either of us. Just a quick way to help us both understand if the partnership makes sense at this initial stage. Keep in mind that we do have some financial requirements for our prospective owners. Once you complete the questionnaire and get approved as a qualified applicant to start our discovery process, well, that's when the real fun begins. We will start sending you a bunch of franchise information that's not made publicly available, including our franchise disclosure document, the opportunity to speak with our franchise owners about how their businesses are performing, and potentially an invitation to visit us at Voodoo Brewing Company HQ in Meadville, Pennsylvania. So good luck filling out that questionnaire. I hope you qualify, and more importantly, I hope to sit down and share a beer with you soon. Cheers. Who did that?